Hey, everybody, welcome to Game Day Review, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Patrick Claybon back here with my dear friends Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland in Week 12, where things become very consequential because the line here between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs, Greg, gets very, very tight.
I love this time of year. It's like every week the games get more and more important. And yes, my picks get better and better. I'm in the Matrix right now. Give me some picks. Give me the standing.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, he is in the Matrix, but also he's also going to tell you about it. So yeah. I don't know if anyone needs to.
It's what I tell my kids. When things are going well, enjoy it, because it's not going to last forever. So you might as well just enjoy it.
But what about the people in your proximity? What if they don't enjoy hearing about how well things are going? Because it's directly related to their failures. Anyway, let's jump right into it. Monday night, we're getting a new edition of the Hard Bowl. John and Jim facing off for the first time since John's Ravens beat Jim's 49ers 34-31 in Super Bowl 47 after the lights went out. Big brother John, 2-0 in his career against his little brother as head coaches. So both the Ravens.
So much has changed. I mean, Jim wears cleats now. I need to know if John does too. But in that last clip, that he wasn't wearing cleats. Yeah. So maybe that's the difference. Yeah. If your head coach is wearing cleats, things are different.
Cleats and gloves in warm-ups. Both the Ravens and the Chargers have 7 wins. In the playoff hunt, does little brother Jim finally beat big brother on Monday night, Greg?
It's so weird to think of Jim Harbaugh as the little brother, right? And yet he is in this matchup, and he will be on Sunday night again because the Ravens are winning this game, 27-24. I was at that game in the Super Bowl, in Hard Bowl, back in New Orleans, and it's because of quarterback play that they won that game. Joe Flacco won that game for them, and Lamar Jackson is going to be the better quarterback in this game too. Love Justin Herbert, but what Lamar Jackson can do against pressure is unique. You know who also was great against pressure last week? Joe Burrow against this Chargers defense in the second half. I do think there are holes in this secondary if Lamar Jackson can just get away from that first rusher, and he's so good at doing that, buying time. I think he'll be able to find open receivers down the field, because as good as this Chargers secondary has played, considering they're playing 2 fifth-round rookies and Christian Fulton, who's kind of a reclamation project, the talent is on the Baltimore offensive side of the ball.
The word reclamation made it into our show. Yes. Congratulations to the wordsmith, Greg. Not only are you beating us in picks, you are also the best wordsmith around. I only have a 1-point win for the Ravens, and I want to talk a little bit about what Joe Burrow and that Cincinnati offense did to this defense last week. The adjustments were pretty epic, including, which is a high probability of it not working out, a 4th down touchdown to Uno. That is what you call Jamar Chase, just so you know. It's called Uno time. Clear, I learned that last week. But when I'm looking at the opportunity here, look, what T. Higgins did, the 2 different receiver sets, which one are you going to take in this one? And then, by the way, they also have this great tight end that they could also be, or several great tight ends, I guess, that they could also be hitting them with. So even if the first half doesn't look great for the Ravens, expect good second and third, options, and then the second half to look a little bit different.
Only one option between our scores, Cynthia, because I have the same exact score. I was on Cynthia's homework, as most people should, if Cynthia's homework is available to see. 25-24, Baltimore Ravens winning, and this comes on the strength of the Baltimore Ravens run defense, where the Chargers do commit to the run, but it's going to be the difference late. The team is almost too reliant on its quarterback to create. That's actually the opponent this time for the Baltimore Ravens, and they have a case as the best run defense in the league. The Chargers score. I believe the Ravens ultimately score 1 more. I understand there's injuries on the Ravens defense, concerns there, but they haven't really been able to stop anybody for most of the season. So it's all aboard for us.
Baltimore Ravens. A little worried. We've doubted the Chargers too many times this year.
Perilous. Let's do some math on this game, Cynthia. Will Justin Herbert throw for over or under 257.5 passing yards on Monday night?
Well, we all have a close game, even though Greg's is the least close. And I think that dictates a passing game script late in the game. You also can pass on this Ravens defense. Even if they decide to give a light box to Justin Herbert for whatever reason they choose, it still doesn't matter. You're still going to have enough of those catches by the receivers, who are both very playable in fantasy. This game, I think Justin Herbert has at least 258 passing yards.
All right, civil rivalries, great. Playoff rivalries, even better. The Packers and the Niners have one of the best. Most recently, San Francisco got the dub in last year's divisional round.
Love out of the shotgun, deep drop, pressured, gets chased out to his right, will throw on the run back middle. It is intercepted. Go down, Dre Greenlaw. Big play, Dre goes down.
2 interceptions for big play, Dre Greenlaw.
A high for Dre Greenlaw, who iced it for San Francisco last January. Get well soon, Dre, as I think the Niners would have had a Lombardi trophy if he didn't hurt himself jogging on the field in the Super Bowl. The rivalry continues, though, Sunday in Lambeau. Who comes away victorious this time around, Greg?
I am going with the Packers this time, 28-24 in this game, because neither of these teams are quite what we expected, at least not where they were last January, but the offense for the Packers is coming into form. Jordan Love and this Packers passing attack is actually the one part of this game, along with the running, really it's the whole offense, that I trust. This 49ers defense, whether Nick Bosa is out there or not, a little ordinary. The 49ers offense, a little too Juwan Jennings reliant, not what they used to be. Packers defense, don't really love it. Jordan Love, I do love it. And I know he'll give you an interception every now and then. I don't care. Look at these throws that he is making. Week after week, they are getting it done. They are so dynamic in the passing game, and you know they can hit you on the ground too. But it's Jordan Love's ability to make those special throws and the variety of the receivers that they have that I ultimately think gets it done. Offense wins.
Yeah, I'm with you, Greg. No practice for Nick Bosa late in the week on Wednesday. Couldn't finish the game Sunday. Problem for the pass rush and overall problems against the run all season long. They're number 28 against runs outside of the tackles. And you look back last year at what was a top 3 defense. They go all the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they give up some points to the Detroit Lions, and it's like, this defense is trouble. They lose to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's like, we got to fire our defensive coordinator. Now look, the Lions are scoring 1 billion points a game, and they have to play against the Packers, who are top 10 in outside runs. Josh Jacobs powers the Pack to victory, Cynthia.
Ooh, well, I guess we're giving me a prime number here by just 1 point. Beep, boop, beep, boop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
Numbers.
There's my number. But look, it's 24-23. Now, I will put a little asterisk here. If for some reason there's no Brock Purdy, that will change things. And the Nick Bosa factor, we'll have to see exactly what happens. So Hytham, I reserve the right to switch it on Sunday with the injury report. Not that we'll know anything before 90 minutes before kickoff anyways, because that is how they do things in the 49ers camp. But the person who I do think is playing is the straw that is stirring the drink for this offense this season. That is number 85. When you're looking at what George Kittle means to this offense, especially when he lines up as an inline receiver, things are good. And that is an area that this Packers defense that I do not trust is very susceptible to. So if you see something like George Kittle lined up inline, just know the Packers have allowed like a 95 completion percentage to such throws. So if we're talking about like Brock Purdy's playing, check. George Kittle playing, check. Nick Bosa, check. Then it is definitely Niners.
Yeah, if you see something, say something. Well, George Kittle lined up in line as a receiver. The team that beat the 49ers last week is the Seahawks. With less than 20 seconds to go, Eugene Cyril Smith shocked the fans in Santa Clara.
Gino gets him back to the line of scrimmage, 22-21, gets the snap, looks, steps up, gonna run, 10, 5, Gino, touchdown, Seahawks! Holy catfish! Geno Smith runs left side. Can't find anybody open from 13 out. 12 seconds left, and the Seahawks take the lead. 19-17. Are you kidding me? No quit in this bunch.
Well, personal biases have the holy catfish call high on the Call of the Year standings. Geno put the 49ers to bed last week. Now the Seahawks play host to the first-place Cardinals. Kyler's squad coming off of the bye week. The division is nuts, Greg. How do you see it going?
I see the Seahawks taking that energy that they got from that last drive and bringing it to this week in a 24-22 victory. Look, I love the Cardinals. I've been picking them all year, but Geno Smith on this last drive was something special. He's winning from the neck up, and he's just got something a little extra. He stays calm in the big moments. You know who led the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives a year ago? Geno Smith. You know who's going to do it again? Geno Smith. Look at the matchups in the secondary. When Geno Smith goes back to pass, and I think for once he might have some pass protection because the Cardinals don't rush the passer that well, Jackson Smith-Njigba is really breaking out. DK Metcalf back healthy. I think they have mismatches in the back end, and I think a special run by this Seahawks team is going to start right now.
I like that. I also agree with who wins. I have a score of 23-21. It's a 2-point win as well. But we need to give a little love to Kyler Murray, specifically when he runs the football. Why? Because one interesting thing about this Seahawks defense is that the 2 starting linebackers from week 1, guess where they are now? Not on the team.
Yeah.
Right?
One's in Miami.
Right. One was traded away, but Ernest Jones has been great. He actually has one of the top run-stop percentages among linebackers since he came over in that trade. But Kyler Murray is a different beast. This is a situation where all of those bootleg to the left, he runs to the left a lot, right? All of those, you can close your eyes and see it. They haven't seen something like that before, at least not the rookie. So when you see something where, look, this is a division opponent, they're going to have new tricks and folds every single time they play. And Kyler Murray is just special, so he deserves to be talked about, even though I'm picking the Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike McDonald's defense, if you look season long-wise, it's like, the Seahawks are a bad defense. I think they've gotten a little bit better, but I also have a slim margin win for the home team. Spoiler alert, when they play this game again in a couple of weeks, I'll take the home team there again. But I would mainly like to talk about this Cardinals defense that I lovingly call the search bar, because I'm constantly having to figure out who exactly these people are. They have been able to accomplish a lot despite not really getting a ton of pressure on the quarterback. They're only ahead of the Panthers and the Falcons in pressure percentage, but they have more sacks than both of those teams combined, despite blitzing less. It works sometimes, but I think you really have to get absolute pressure on Geno and swarm him to be able to win, especially a game in Seattle. I don't think they'll be able to do that enough here, so we are all on the Seattle Seahawks, and the memes are rolling here on Game Day View. Just getting started here on this particular edition of our show. Coming up, don't look now, but Jalen Hurts and the Eagles have won 6 in a row. They got a monster matchup with Matthew Stafford and the feisty Rams. We're in the playoff push. Our picks for the other primetime game at SoFi, the Eagles and the Rams, coming up next on Game Day View.
NFL Game Day View is presented by Mercedes-Benz and the Holiday Love Celebration. Celebrate the journeys that bring us closer together.
Hurts, Barkley, first down, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Barkley! There it is, 23-yard explosion.
That's the one they needed.
Hurts under center. He goes with a pitch to Barkley. Barkley across the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Goodbye! Another one.
Hello.
40 yards. 40 yards.
He's unbelievable.
It's time for the Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes-Benz. Saquon adding a smooth 70 yards in the fourth quarter rushing in that last game against the Commanders. The Eagles and the Rams Sunday night at SoFi. Philly has won 6 straight since their bye. They're in first place in the NFC East. The Ramily definitely in the playoff race. Does it get even better in the playoff race for the Rams, Cynthia?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I have 26-22 in favor of the Eagles, in large part because of that man we just watched a bunch of highlights on. That is Saquon Barkley. When I'm looking at the opportunity to leverage him in, the pass-catching game, running on inside routes, running onto the outside, like all of the different ways that you would like to use him, well, that O-line is specifically tailored to him. I know that the strength of this Rams defense is right up front. But you know what? When you run away from the pressure, things get better for you. So Saquon Barkley, a massive day. I think that helps bolster the Eagles' chances to beat the Rams.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game where there's 2 incredible young defensive lines that get a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. But I like the Eagles' offensive line more, so I will talk about the Eagles' defensive line, namely Jalen Carter, who is the only interior defensive lineman who's generated multiple pressures in every game this season, an asterisk, because Dexter Lawrence is getting double and triple teamed like a million times. But still, Jalen Carter has 15 quick pressures this season. He's top 3 in that category, and I think he gets one that changes this game on Sunday, Greg. Eagles win it.
I was with you. That was how I lean, because I picked the Eagles to win actually every single game this year.
Fun fact.
And 6 straight times I've been right. And yet, as the week went on, I changed my mind And I had a vision of the Rams winning this game. Rams are a very hard team to predict. I think they win a relatively high-scoring game, and it's partly because of Sean McVay. Let's just Greg it up. I got a hunch about this team across the street. It's a revenge game for Sean McVay. A revenge that lasts 6 years. Let's go back to 2018. Bears, Rams. Why are we showing you this game? Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator of the Bears, helped change NFL history with a 6-1 front that really stopped the outside zone Rams team back then. There's Fangio now doing a great job. A lot of the same concepts with this Eagles team. Sean McVay, the whiz kid. He got pantsed in the Super Bowl by Bill Belichick, who copied that game plan. Really, the whole NFL started copying that game plan for years. It got Jared Goff out of Los Angeles. It made Sean McVay change the whole offense. They don't even run outside zone anymore. This has been in his head for 6 straight years. He wants revenge because he was the hot kid in town. Fangio took that from him, and now he's going to show who's smart.
I think we have the same thought, Cynthia.
What?
I'm so confused that you're taking revenge on Fangio for something Belichick did.
Well, no, Fangio did it because Fangio showed him how to beat Sean McVay, and it was at a time where he was just looking like the smart kid in town. I think this one means a little extra to McVay. I think he's going to have some special sauce. It's a young Eagles defense. They can't win every game. I think Sean McVay is going to have some great stuff.
We could ultimately end up with Vic Fangio getting credit for 2 teams winning the Super Bowl that he did not coach for. The Eagles are chasing for the top seed in the NFC. Right now, that's a team that, I guess thanks to Vic Fangio, has Jared Goff. Cynthia's Detroit Lions.
On second down, Goff takes the direct snap, fakes the give, sets in the pocket, steps up, looks, throws, it is complete. There goes J-Mo right side. He's got the angle to the end zone. 25-20, 15-10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. J-Mo flies into the end zone, and the Lions extend their lead. Once he catches that ball, once he's got the angle, you're dead and you don't even know it.
You're dead and you don't even know it, which most dead people fall into that category. Jared Goff coming off a 4-touchdown game. The Lions have won 8 straight games. Some folks saw it coming. They've got Anthony Richardson and the Colts on Sunday. I think they make it 9 straight, winning 27-13. Because you saw it on that play. There's so many aspects of the Lions offense that we can celebrate. Why don't we look at Jared Goff passing with play action? Folks, he's over 1,000 yards already on just play action passing this season. In fact, he has 200 more yards on play action than the next closest quarterback, which is Matthew Stafford, who was there because of Vic Fangio's efforts in a Bears game against the Rams several years ago. I think the Lions win this one 37-20.
It made sense in my head. It
still makes sense. I'm on board.
It even made Sean McVay be like, I got to get a defensive coordinator like Fangio. So he hired Brandon Staley. Lots of things happened. Go on to this game.
You know what? Thank you for your service, Vic Fangio. We're actually probably all here because of you, Vic Fangio. But the Lions win this one 29-21. I want to talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown for a second here because he actually has the highest upside for any wide receiver in my model this week. Why? Because you know who plays a lot of zone?
Who's that?
Yeah, the Colts. They play the most zone. And they kind of do it even if it doesn't work. But you know where Jared Goff has thrown all of his interceptions? Against zone. So this team figures to be a team that is working out some kinks. That is kind of my explanation for what we saw last week when they did not take their foot off the gas against the Jaguars. But I think this is an opportunity to really target the guy against zone. And this is a guy who has 29% target share, second highest in the NFL. So I think if you're looking for a really nice high upside fantasy play, look to number 14.
I love this Lions team because they're great. They can make comebacks against the Texans, but they're also great front runners, which is why all 3 of us not only have the Lions winning this game, we have them covering. I have them winning by 10, and it's partly because of the way the Colts won last week. Let's show some great Anthony Richardson footage. I point out these throws just to show you how difficult they all were. Part of the reason they had to win with difficult throws where Anthony Richardson had to fit the ball into tight windows is the running game really wasn't working. Jonathan Taylor was stuffed by a pretty bad Jets run defense. Anthony Richardson, except for those runs on the goal line, which are important, he's such a red zone threat, he didn't really get it going on the ground either. That worries me because against a Lions team that stops the run and I think will be able to control Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson on the ground, man, you're going to be trailing. You're going to have to hit low percentage throws. That's only going to work so much. They play well, not well enough. They lose by 10.
All right, still to come here on Game Day View. Can the Bears bounce back after last week's shocking loss? They got a huge NFC North matchup with Sam Darnold and the Vikings. Is there another upset brewing, or will Chicago find a new, more heartbreaking way to lose football. Our picks coming up next.
Want to know who's dominating on defense? Just ask Siri. Who leads the league in tackles?
On cue from Cairo Santos, south end zone upright, snap, placement, kick is blocked by the Green Bay Packers. They got the penetration, and they blocked the kick, and they will survive and leave with an 11th consecutive win over the Bears. Haven't seen a replay, not sure that I want to. There are a stunned bunch of Bears sitting here stung. Hands on hips trying to take in and digest what happened here today at Soldier Field after getting in position to win the game. Yep. Nothing's easy in this league.
Truer words never spoken. Time to seize the season, presented by Caesars Sportsbook. As we look at the first touchdown score odds between the Vikings and the Bears, Aaron Jones in a familiar spot playing against the Chicago Bears. Leading the way at plus 450. Justin Jefferson right after that. DeAndre Swift at 750. Jordan Addison, TJ Hockenson rounding things out. Let's talk about this matchup a little bit more. The Bears haven't won in over a month, while the Vikings have won 3 straight. The Monsters of the Midway, can they come back from that huge disappointment and get a win here, Cynthia?
Anything's possible.
Oh, there we go.
But my model says no. I have Minnesota by at least 4 points, 23-19. Part of those numbers there dictate the total in the game. I think it could be even more than 4 points if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But Caleb Williams did look significantly better last week. Some of the things that we talked about with Thomas Brown and targeting this defense where they were actually most vulnerable, and also being smart about using his feet to rush when it made sense. Caleb Williams looked considerably better. I think if you're a Bears fan, I understand that is a terrible way to lose a game. However, there are a lot of things to be excited about if you're a Caleb Williams fan and for the future. So not all is lost. Those stunned monsters of the Midway are you're going to be okay.
Okay, so you said it might be even more than 4 points. I say it will be more than 4 points. I got it as a touchdown. Vikings on the road. And it's partly because Brian Flores, he's got more than one pitch. It's not just all about the fastball. He's changing it up. You know who's been very average in blitz rate over the last 3 weeks?
The Vikings.
The Vikings. After always sending the heat over and over, Brian Flores said, you know what? We're actually getting a lot of pressure with just our regular 4. Jonathan Grenard is playing fantastic. Van Ginkel's awesome. Some no-names up front. We got Patrick Jones. And he can just pick any dial on the menu. It's like one of those restaurants where he has so many different options and you just pick and pick. And I always worry about the team that has the moral victory the week before. Everyone's kind of higher on the Bears than they were a week ago because they played really well. They deserve to win that game. And sometimes I actually feel like there's a letdown after the moral victory. Thomas Brown put that week on tape now that Flores can kind of cook up.
Yeah, and the thing is where even if the Vikings do line up like they're not going to blitz, there's still the idea that Van Ginkel and Grenard and all those guys could get pressure on the quarterback from any particular way. They come in so many different ways. But the Bears need to have a run game to try to make Thomas Brown's offense somewhat successful. It's been tough for them to do. This is not the team to get your ground game going against. If we look over at Next Gen Stats, on the 10 rush defense categories, they are in the top 10 in 9 of 10 of those categories. They're number 1 in 4 of those categories. They can approach the run and the pass game so many different ways. Also, late week practice checks for DeAndre Swift. Keep an eye on that if you're paying attention to this game, to whether or not it's all Roquan or DeAndre Swift. But we all expect the sadness to continue in Chicago. Sorry, Bears fans, including our beloved producer. Vegas is not expecting a ton of points in this one. Here's a look at the lowest point totals for the week. 39.5 there. Down in Houston, it's at 40.5. The Broncos and the Raiders, most of that may be scored by the Broncos as well. Let's make some quick picks here on Game Day View. The Chiefs and the Panthers. KC dropped their first game of the season last week in Buffalo. Do they bounce back with a vengeance here against the Panthers?
Absolutely. I have a 12-point win for them. This is the first time I've had them over their number the entire season long.
Wow.
28-16 in this matchup. And even if Isaiah Pacheco is 100% clear to go, which we are still unclear as of the time of this taping, it doesn't matter. You're still playing Kareem Hunt and potentially looking at him because the opportunity to run against this Panthers defense will be a nice return to football moment for Pacheco should he come back. But ultimately, I don't care. This is a team that controls the ball. They have the most yards, so 10-plus play drives. They've scored on 24 of them. That's the most in the league. They average 6.7 plays per drive. They got this one. Chiefs got this one big.
Yeah, we've all got plus 10-point wins in this one. Let's go to the Bucs and the Giants. Mike Evans expected back for Tampa. Tommy DeVito starting for the G-Men with Danny Dimes now super on the bench behind a couple other quarterbacks. Who do you think's going to win here, Greg?
I think the Bucs are going to win, even before I heard that Danny Dimes was their safety on the scout team. That's just embarrassing. You got Mike Evans back on the field. You know you're going to go win against this Giants secondary who likes to travel a lot of times with their top cornerback. I don't think Mike Evans is going to worry about that. I really like how the Buccaneers have developed their offense without Mike Evans. So now when you add him back into the mix, this is legitimately one of the best offenses in the league. I think they'll be able to run the ball efficiently and then get the ball to Mike Evans.
Let's go to the Patriots and the Dolphins. Miami has won 2 in a row, their longest streak of the season. I think they make it 3 in a row here, guys. Winning 26-16 on the power of Jonnu Smith, who is back in our lives after being targeted on just 19% of his routes through the first 4 weeks of the season. Jonnu Smith, folks, 27% target rate since then, replacing some production. It seems like Jalen Waddle might be playing through something. I have no information there, but the numbers down for Jalen Waddle across the board, including on stats and production, next-gen stats-wise, speed-wise as well. I think Jonnu Smith, big replacement there. Finns get a chance to win it here. The question is, can they make the push to the playoffs? When we come back to the playoffs, just around the corner, which fringe teams are getting in, and who's going to be stuck watching right along with us? We'll clue you in as you're watching Game Day View, presented by Mercedes.
Dang, you hit the 49ers with a fringe team.
They are a fringe. We're back on Game Day View. Upgrade your Sundays with NFL Plus Premium. Watch live, local, and primetime games on mobile devices, plus NFL Red Zone, game replays, and more. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply. It's time for Active Mike, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes!
Muscles his way into the end zone! Are you kidding me?
Well played, drive, put this away. Yeah. Okay, now hell of a play. See you guys. Let's do it again, baby. Yeah.
It's caught. Kadarrell Hodge, 35-30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Drive home safely. A walk-off for Kadarrell Hodge and the Falcons.
Hey, you like that? You like that?
Looking, fires it out in the flat to Barkley, who beats one man, spins past another, leaps over a third.
He's never done this. No one's ever done this.
Just like you.
Placement is down. Let's just kick. It's blocked. It's blocked. It's blocked. The Chiefs blocked the kick. They're going to stay undefeated.
Now steps up, fires, heads towards the end zone. It is bubble up and it's gone. It's gone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
Oh, so much excitement. Let's discuss some fringe playoff teams and what we think is going to happen. This is the AFC playoff picture. The Broncos right now holding on to that 7th and final spot in the AFC. The Chiefs locked up a bye as of right now, but looking on at the team they just lost to, the Buffalo Bills leading the division, the Steelers as well. Do you think the Denver Broncos, Greg, who are currently number 7 in the AFC, do you think they will make the playoffs? Yes or no?
I believe. Let's do it. Yeah, I think Bo Nix gets this thing done.
Put the green thing up.
It's the offensive line. I don't know which. Either way, it's up. It's all up. I'm colorblind. These things have never been friendly to the colorblind community. I love all of you out there. You know what else I love? The offensive line of the Denver Broncos. I'm going to show you some great Bo Nix highlights.
Okay.
First of all, Cortland Sutton still getting it done. Sean Payton.
Still getting it done. That's like a crazy mouth to one-handed catch there.
Sean Payton getting it done. You see a lot of wide open receivers. You know what else you see? Not a lot of pressure on Bo Nix. This has been a fantastic offensive line. When they signed Quinn Miners in training camp, it was a statement of intent. We're going to build through a lot of guys you don't know up front, and they're going to be better than you think. Heck, And when they're not, Bo Nix can scramble just like that.
Best tummy in football, by far.
Bo Nix.
No,
Quinn Miners. I see what you did there.
Bo Nix? No, I don't know what his tummy looks like. He doesn't pull his shirt up.
Maybe it's good.
Anyways, I, too, believe that the Broncos will make the playoffs. And let's talk about pressure, but defensive pressure, because this defense is absolutely crushing, especially when they only rush 4. Look out, number 99's coming for your life. It's Zach Allen. Last year, some people were like, oh, that was a lot of money you paid this man, and he's not giving you the good return on investment.
He was good last year.
No. Yes, he was good last year, but this year, he's exceptional. And that difference making and getting that pressure, the quick pressure on opposing quarterbacks, that has been a problem for other teams. This is one of the reasons why they're able to not necessarily, they blitz because they choose to, they don't blitz because they have to, and that secondary is backed up and they work together hand in glove, just like we put my hand in this glove here, meaning they're going to the playoffs.
Initially, when I looked at this question in the rest of the season, I thought it was a no. But now I'm a yes, because I was looking at the next matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs, and then I remember the Chiefs might have already clinched by the time they played that game. So this revenge game opportunity where the Chiefs maybe come back and, hey, we almost lost to this team, Patrick Mahomes might not even play in this game. This may be a game where the Chiefs are getting ready to go into having a bye, and the Denver Broncos need to get a win. Why smash yourselves against that wall? Because there's a couple other really good teams in the AFC. They're on the fringe. I think that alone pushes the Denver Broncos into the playoffs, as Patrick Mahomes will be doing that, watching potentially from the sidelines. We'll go to the Dolphins, who have now won 2 in a row. They almost knocked off the Bills a few weeks ago. Greg, does the Miami Dolphins, do they make the playoffs?
I don't think so, because they're already a couple losses behind the Broncos here. Let's go no, because, look, they've been great on third down. They've been great with the short passing. I want to extol the virtues of the Dolphins. I think they get into the mix. Their next 4 games, pretty easy. I think they beat the Patriots. Fun Thanksgiving night game. I think that's the one that could trip them up, but I think they can beat the Jets and the Texans. The problem is, when you look at the 2 schedules between them and the Broncos, for instance, or the Ravens, who else could be in the wild card mix, I think the Broncos have the easiest schedule. It's going to be too hard. It's that backup quarterback situation that put them in too big of a hole.
All right, let's go to Joe Burrow's squad playing at an MVP level as the quarterback. Defense isn't. The Bengals 4-7. Does Cincy make the playoffs?
Bum, bum, ba, ba. I'm sorry, Cincinnati. I really like you. But unfortunately, especially with that win last week, it makes it very, very difficult. You know who they have to play against? Yeah, the AFC North. That is difficult. When you're looking at the opportunity that the Bengals had to make the postseason, they just haven't won the games that they were supposed to. They kind of squandered away some of those fourth-place schedule situations that they were in. This is not a great opportunity when your defense is giving up a lot of yards on the ground, a lot of yards through the air, and when you can't make kicks like last week, the bad defense situation becomes even worse.
And to be fair, like Joe Burrow, like you keep hearing that he's like the MVP, but his team's not helping. It was like, hey, maybe win a game like one of the 5 times when you got the ball with a chance to go put the game away on offense. Just saying.
You were to extol the virtues of Joe Burrow not doing making a Hail Mary?
Just saying, like they had the ball like 3 times against the Chargers in that game. Score some points.
Yeah, Joe.
Not me. I didn't say it.
Let's take a look at the playoff picture over in the NFC, where it's Detroit, Cynthia's Detroit Lions. Currently with the bye, the Eagles lead the division, as are the Cards and the Falcons, the Vikings in the wild card. But let's look over at the Indy Hunt spot, because the 49ers, if the playoffs started today, they'd be watching on some comfy chairs. Can they change that, Cynthia? Do the San Francisco 49ers make the playoffs?
Well, again, if there's no, this game this week is actually a must-win game if I'm looking at the schedule going forward. And since I have them winning, the answer is yes, by a little. This needs to be a little tiny smidge, because I think that with Christian McCaffrey coming back and his ability to change the way the offense operates, especially in the red area, they really do have an opportunity here to kind of get around some of their defensive woes. So along the same lines of like what I said before, like if there's no Brock Purdy, things change. If there's no George Kittle, things change. But Christian McCaffrey is a really big difference maker going forward, should the rest of those pieces also be available.
Yeah, you look at their schedule the rest of the way, and it's very difficult, including this week, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and say no. I think it's going to be tough for two NFC West teams to get into the playoffs, and I do not think they're going to win the division. So I'm going to say a big fat no for the San Francisco 49ers. I had them, in the preseason we did over-unders, and I had them as one of my very first picks to go under. I just feel like this isn't their year. Too much has happened.
Yeah.
Well, their over-under was like 11. It was crazy. Anyways.
Looking back, if we go back to the 2023 San Francisco 49ers, a 28 points per game, a top 10 offense. The points per game has only dropped 3. The problem is that over on the defensive side, their offense still scored 25 points. I do not think the San Francisco 49ers will make the playoffs. And there's so many games that we could look back to determine where it all went wrong. I think at the end of the season, they're going to look back at this early season matchup in SoFi Stadium where they had the lead against a very, very hurt Los Angeles Rams team.
That's right.
They could not close them out.
Special teams has killed them all year.
It's a bad one. Sean McVay runs in the postgame bewildered that somehow the Rams won this football game, and that's going to keep his good pal and old buddy and playoff rival out of the playoffs. Maybe. We'll see. A lot. I'm going to say a lot hinges on whether or not they could beat the Packers this week. Let's go to the NFC South, where the leading Falcons currently lead, Greg. Do you think the team that's leading the division right now? No. Greg,
no. Even before you answer the question, it's going to be a Bucs world in the playoffs. I love this Bucs team. They're better than their record. And you look at the Falcons coming up, their schedule tougher than the Bucs. Their defense worse than the Bucs. Their defense worse than almost anyone else's defense. Yes. Like, Kirk Cousins has made it happen from the pocket all season, and that's great. But some of these games that the Buccaneers have, found a way to lose against the Falcons, and that the Falcons have found a way to win at the very end. A little bit of luck involved, and just generally no pass rush, no good linebacker play either, especially in coverage. It's not like they're a great run defense. I think a defense this bad, especially with those odds, minus 400 to make the playoffs, I'm liking the upset pick here.
So if they don't just lose the division, and they don't get in the wild card, let's talk about another team that could be in that mix. The Rams, Cynthia, currently sitting just outside of the wild card at 5-5. Rams in? Oh, boy.
Man, that 97 yards across the way or whatever we decided it was, they are not going to like me. Why? Well, to me, O-line play is extremely important, and they have been banged up. And also, when I'm looking at, even coming back, then being banged up again, then being back, this has not been an opportunity to be consistent for Matthew Stafford. I know Matthew Stafford is great when he doesn't, the play after being pressured, he doesn't even need that to be excellent O-line play. He just needs to be better than average, and it just hasn't been. And you've seen Kyron Williams now not be as effective. So I kind of agree with you that, unless it's the Niners and the Cardinals, I don't think two NFC West teams get in. So right now, I think it's Cardinals.
And just look at the names on the bottom of that graphic there. You got the Eagles this week, which I think the Rams could win, but that's tough. You got the Bills in a couple weeks.
Don't you think they could?
Are they really going to win? I think they could win. I'm just saying these are 3 really tough games.
Well,
Are they
Darren
really
Rizzi
going to
hasn't
sweep
lost
the 49ers?
yet, Greg.
Yeah, that's true. Darren Rizzi. This is 4 tough games. Rizzi ball.
Coming up, we're breaking down the rest of the Week 12 slate. Can C.J. Stroud keep the Texans rolling? Is Bo Nix now the front runner for Rookie of the Year? And will the Cowboys ever win a football game again? Answer to those questions and more coming up next.
Eventually.
We are back to Pro Bowl games presented by Verizon, taking over Orlando. Be there live on Sunday, February 2nd for skills competitions, unforgettable player moments, and a star-studded AFC versus NFC flag football finale at Camping World Stadium. Tickets on sale now. Go to probowl.com/tickets to get yours today. Time for us to do some quick picks here on Game Day View. The Titans and the Texans in Houston. Who gets the win, Greg?
The Texans get the win, but the Titans get the cover with room to spare. I have this as a 1-point game. I have the Texans on upset alert, in part because we've seen a better version of Will Levis the last couple of weeks. Let's give Will Levis some love. I asked for, let's get some Will Levis highlights, and I was told no one at NFL Network's, cut a Will Levis clip since week 4. It's like he's totally off the radar. He's making some good passes the last couple of weeks. He's taken a lot of sacks. He's not a perfect quarterback. A little mechanical going through his reads. You can almost see him thinking the coaching notes, but he's playing smarter. And when he does let go of that ball, it's pretty. I think he's going to have a nice career, maybe not as a franchise quarterback, but a guy that comes in and gives your offense a spark. I think they keep it close against a Texans offense that's really been strong.
All right, let's go to the Broncos and the Raiders. Bo Nix threw 4 touchdowns last week. Does Denver keep it rolling, Cynthia?
They absolutely do have a 7-point win, 23-16. But because we haven't talked about the Raiders at all, and Brock Bowers is doing amazing things, we need to talk about him. Number 1, he had the single game tight end reception record. He made it last week.
Let's go.
He also is tied for the 2 games of 10-plus receptions. You talk about someone with a great career and going to have an excellent upside career. Like, this is a epic start in a team that really needs him. They knew that he was going. They telegraphed, hey, basically, like, when Gardner Minshew throws the ball, he's like, I'm going to throw it to Brock Bowers. Doesn't matter. He's still going to catch it. So congratulations, Brock Bowers, and good things for the Raiders. That's a happy thing.
Yeah, it looked like on one of those plays, Brock Bowers didn't think the ball was coming to him. He's like, oh, wait.
Why not? I'll catch this one, too.
Here.
Who cares?
The Cowboys and the Commanders, Dallas has dropped 5 in a row. I think Dan Quinn comes in and makes it 6 in a revenge game. Well, maybe not. He had good times in Dallas. I've got the Commanders winning 28-16 on the heels of Cooper Rush throwing the ball 55 times on Monday Night Football against the Houston Texans. Fun fact, the Commanders' defense since week 4 has 25 sacks. They're playing good defense. They're getting pressure on the quarterback, and the Cowboys can't really run or pass right now. It's a rough situation.
Is it really a revenge game when you were like the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league? And the owner of the Cowboys this week, Jerry Jones, was almost openly saying, man, I kind of wish we still had Dan Quinn. You know, I think he misses him.
No, maybe the revenge is against everybody posting all those 28-3 memes all the time, Greg. Coming up, our favorite player props for Week 12. We went 0-3 last week. But the laws of science and math say that we're due, even though it's not really true. We guarantee these props hit, or we're putting Greg's address up on Blue Sky. I didn't write that. Stick around. We're back on Game Day View, and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, Mooch, Cynthia Freeland, and the rest of the GDM crew get you set for a kickoff with NFL Game Day morning. Folks, tell us how the 49ers can shake off their Super Bowl hangover. Plus, did the Bills give the blueprint on how to beat Patrick Mahomes? It's very simple. Have Josh Allen. All that and more are coming up Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Colleen grew this week. I like it. Now she's taller than Kyle. This is great.
Yeah, Garofalo pulling up a very small edition of Mike Garofalo. Time for Write This Down here on our program as we get to some predictions for Week 12. Start it off for the people.
Yeah, my Write This Downs have been as clumsy as the cotton on this little tablescape here. But I'm turning it around this week. Josh Jacobs over 70.5 rushing yards. Love this matchup against the 49ers. I think they're going to have a winning game script, be playing from ahead. Love the way he's running the scheme. LaFleur has been cooking up run schemes ever since that loss in the playoffs last year. He wants revenge on his buddy Kyle Shanahan. Josh Jacobs helps give it to him.
All right, get a Write This Down from Greg there. While Josh Jacobs hitting that number. I've got Cortland Sutton having over 60.5 receiving yards against the Las Vegas Raiders. If you want to know when the last time this didn't happen, you got to go all the way back to October 17th, 2024. You know why it didn't happen? Because they were on a bye that week. The Denver Broncos are throwing the ball a ton. I think Cortland Sutton gets you 60.5 receiving yards easy, Cynthia.
I have one that I guarantee will hit, but the first one here is Cade Otton having more than 40 and 49.5 receiving yards. I love this opportunity. Remember, I know Mike Evans is back, but they need to pass the ball even more, and you know Baker Mayfield loves to throw the ball. But the one that I guarantee is that Patrick is going to have the happiest birthday yet on Monday. Happy birthday,
Happy early birthday,
guarantee
Patrick.
that one hits. That one's a number one.
Well, I think it might depend on the results of the game over there on Monday Night Football. Folks, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you guys for singing the happy birthday. And then thank you for spending all this time with us here on Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Come on, Lamar. Look, you hold this man's heart in your hand. You've already got that beautiful sweater. What more does he need?
A win would be nice. And you guys to watch us next week. We'll see you then coming up on Game Day View. Thanks for watching, everybody.